Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Gemini Tarot forecast for the month of April. Hope you're all doing well out there, Gemini. Thank you for joining in. Always remember your free will. You are the captain of your ship. This reading is designed to bring value and assist you with knowledge from the spirit world. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Do not ever try to make a reading fit your narrative and reality. It either is organic or it's not. Okay, if you're new here, how I do the tarot for the signs in the months. I have a card representing each week of the month and then a second tarot for more depth, detail and analysis of what's come forward for you, Gemini. Okay, first message please, opening up the month of April in the first week for Gemini. Thank you guys for being present for Gemini. What advice, what message are you bringing through for Gemini in the first week of April? Okay, Gemini, thank you. Wow, Gemini, you open up with a Major Arcana card, and it's the last card in the Major Arcana set, and it's the World. So the World is a card that has the characteristics of completion, resolution, a cycle ending, and something is trying to begin again. You are done. You've reached a point that can no longer go on and you're moving on. So something quite significant is wrapping up for you, Gemini, in the first week of April. Oh my goodness. The second week of April, we have the Major Arcana card, the Judgment card. Now, this is the second largest Major Arcana card in the tarot deck. So you go from the ending back to the second last card in the Major Arcana cards being Judgment. So before. So you're going back over something here in the second week of April that hasn't quite wrapped up here. So the first week we've got, this is the end, the cycle is completing, I'm graduating, I'm moving on, I'm ready for a new beginning. And then the second week we've got, hang on just a minute, let's just reconsider this ending or severing something or tying something off simply because it's got long-standing consequences, this decision or this ending. So you're not quite there yet. And the second week it's as if you've got, oh, hang on a minute, I need to address something first because this decision, this ending is quite punchy. It's got a knock-on effect that's quite important and quite impactful to you, Aries, Gemini, or even people around you. Wow, interesting opening. Okay, well, let's get the third week of April for Gemini. Third week of April for Gemini. Gemini, these cards, I mean, I trust my guides, obviously, but you might be really trying to tap into your intuition and trying to trust yourself about ending something. So you could be in two minds here about tying something off and ending something. And that's okay because the completion or the cycle that's ending, you know, it brings in a brand new beginning, a new slate, and it's a really long journey from the Fool to the World, and it's significant. It's quite weighty. So going to and from and back and forward, it's always going to be a reality because ending long cycles is important, and you may be struggling with ending something, and that's okay. That's very human. Okay, Gemini, the third week we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups has a connection with their heart chakra. They're very in tune with their intuitive side. They're compassionate, they're nurturing, they've got experience behind them that gives them a softer touch or approach to life. This king has endured a lot of emotional turmoil, but understands the fluctuations of the heart and the harsh realities of life. And there's so much compassion and nurturing energy and association to the King of Cups that we go forward confidently towards the King of Cups because they're receptive. They get you. They accept you for who you are. So that King of Cups in the third week is all about possibly being drawn towards someone that gives you a sense of comfort, relaxes you, makes you feel safe. Could be counseling or healing, getting into esoteric work. But this is the third week is all about being receptive and open to your emotional intelligence and feeling on top of your emotions instead of washed away or being swept from side to side by them. So it's like grappling and grasping with emotional intelligence and decisions. Wow. Okay, Gemini. So the last week of April, moving into the month of May, we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles represents and has the associations of building and starting something tangible, solid, and secure. This card has energy connected to it that feels fertile and abundant, and we want to nurture it and watch it grow over time and be part of that growth every single day. And we're proud of what we're building and starting here because the results are going to be seen by other people, because it's a practical new journey that is beginning here at the end of April, moving into the month of May. Well, I'm in, Gemini. You've got me intrigued with this reading for sure, so let's get some detail and wrap this reading up for you. The World. Ending of a cycle. Something has run its course. It's time to release and move on. And it's with the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups represents the message of all is not lost when it comes to a relationship. What does the tarot and the wisdom of the tarot mean when all is not lost with the Five of Cups? Well, quite simply, there's emotional fulfillment elsewhere, and there was always something that was of value and merit to you in a significant relationship. You don't end relationships. Well, most people don't end relationships without having some sort of wisdom or knowledge after it's run its course. We learn something from it. So the World with the Five of Cups is putting you on notice to release a relationship or a connection, because there is emotional fulfillment elsewhere. It's going to take time, but you will be okay. So Gemini, it is a very weighty, quite intense ending in regards to a relationship. And it can be emotionally heavy for you, absolutely, because the cycle has come to its entirety and completion here. And it's hard. It's part of the human experience. Endings to bring in new beginnings. But we learn valuable things, and it's usually about our emotional sides of life, our heart. But we have emotional fulfillment elsewhere, and we can rebuild again. So all is not lost when it comes to learning and keeping on learning through relationships. Interesting, Gemini. Okay, the second week of April, major arcana card of the Judgment. So this is where the consequences, the reality of the decision, of the ending, the completion. This is where you take a step back and really look at the terrain ahead, the reality that's in front of you, what is here, and where I am right now has a lot of consequence to it, because you're going in a new direction now, but you've made this decision and you're done. It's over, and you need to move on confidently, but you're going forward confidently with collateral damage, and the collateral damage is the loss of a relationship and learning some very, significant, poignant lessons about yourself and the relationship itself. But the consequences now are here, and they're very real in the second week. And a new path forward is now coming, and it's actually here. And it's with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is the queen of optimism, passion, sales, marketing, getting people on board. They're very coercive because they've got all this energy, and people are drawn to high octane energy, and this queen has it all. She is all about fun, and then she's cooking and she's cleaning, and she's got the kids, and she's got a business, and she's going to the gym, and she's an advocate for animal shelters. There's so much going on with this queen that you can't help but be dazzled by her. She's got it all. Well, if you got the Judgment paired with the Queen of Wands in the second week, Gemini, it's as if the filters are off. You can't do it anymore. You may have been overcompensating, doing so much energy in keeping other people entertained and optimistic and uplifted, that you are depleted, and you know that you need to move on and go in a different direction, because there's been too much. You've been doing too much heavy lifting, overcompensating, putting so much energy into other people or a particular relationship in general, really, that you're exhausted. You cannot be the puppeteer, the marionette anymore. You're not the court jester. You're important too. And it seems as if, Gemini, you really are aware of this, and you're leaving behind a false part of yourself that you thought was you. And that's okay, because now this is the maturity. This is where you level up and go, I'm not that person. I can't be that person anymore. I need to be able to take the filters off and let people know, including and most importantly myself, that I can't be this person anymore. So you're revealing a very intimate and quite raw side of yourself. It's very, it's like a naked energy of exposing your softer underbelly of, I can't do this anymore. I'm not this person. And I need to make a call on it. I'm calling myself out here in the second week of April. We talk about powerful. My goodness. Okay, third week in April. We've got that King of Cups, that nurturing, compassionate message, that energy, that safe space to do you, that emotional intelligence, the counselor, the therapist, tapping into our emotional worlds. Well, it's with the King of Wands. Gemini, you've got the King and Queen of Wands in your reading for the month of April. Well, what does this mean? The King of Wands and the King of Cups in the third week, quite simply, is leveling up and stepping up in regards to controlling that fire, controlling that side of your nature that's explosive, at times naive, at times I look before I leap, I'm all in before I know the details. This is the third week in April. This is the week where you go, how do I get a hold of being so naive and devil may care energy? I need to get on top of this. I need to understand this, because it's impacting me quite profoundly internally when it comes to my emotional stability. So this is where you have time to yourself. Once this cycle is over, to really, you're getting to know you again, Gemini. It's quite intimate and again quite raw. But I think that a long cycle or a relationship that you've been connected to for some time has run its course, but you seem to be the one that has the total clarity and awareness of, I need to understand the lessons and I need to understand myself now that I am on my own and doing my own thing. I'm actually ready to go down to those depths. I'm available. I'm on board. I'm all in to understand me, to understand why I might be so much of a performer, why I'm all about let's just do it and all action and no thinking about it, and overcompensating all the time, being so busy with so many different things. Why is it difficult for me to be me? Well, it's not because the relationship has taken up so much of your time. It's because of getting back into balance. And that King of Cups is all about having that emotional maturity to really tap into that side of yourself and understanding you. And this is why it might be necessary, or something you might consider, which is healing, therapy, esotericism, to get into the deeper psychological side of yourself, to understand you. So this is quite a profound reading here, Gemini, in the month of April, what I'm getting. Okay, so the last week of April, moving into the month of May of 2024, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is starting something new that is very grounded and practical and significant for the future. It's a very abundant card because the possibilities are endless to create a real world that is secure and safe for you. And it's with the major arcana card of Justice. Justice is a card that represents looking at the past, all of the actions you've taken, everything you've built to date, and the consequences of your past actions, and the consequences of your past are now on the table, in your face, hard to miss, because this is your reality and you know it. It's hard to escape what you know to be true. So with the Ace of Pentacles and the Justice in the last week of April moving into May, this combination of tarot card for you, Gemini, looks as if you're very aware that your finances, your health, your 3D world isn't so healthy and you know it. And it could very well have to do with a relationship or a past connection. And it's almost as if, wow, I'm really looking at my reality in 3D world and it ain't great. But the optimistic thing about the Ace of Pentacles is it's a new abundant beginning. It's a new journey. So even though you're only baby steps into building and starting again, to build your own sense of safety and security in regards to your 3D world, the potential is limitless. You can begin again, start something brand new that's going to help you feel empowered with your self-worth and self-value. Okay, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I am sending you high vibrations and frequencies of love to your heart chakra, so you can trust your intuition and believe that you deserve bliss and that you can stand on your own 2 feet and be confident in who you are. You are not a performer. You are not here to overcompensate and lose yourself with anybody. You're important too. Sending lots of love, Gemini. Have a great April, and I will see you next month.